Remember that HTC phone we turned into an MP3 player? Well, today we're going to take our Sony X Compact and do the same to it. Well, kind of. So let's get into it. So this video all stemmed from this comment that we got on our HTC MP3 player video, and this video was originally supposed to go differently. Now I wanted to take our recently reviewed Sony Xperia X Compact, flash it with Lineage OS, and then turn it into an MP3 player to see how it is. Unfortunately, due to the state of the bootloader being locked from factory and not easily unlockable, I couldn't actually flash a third-party OS onto it. Now, I believe if we sim unlock the phone, it should enable us to progress to the bootloader unlock. If I can get that working, then I'll probably make a video out of how to install Lineage OS onto this device, but none of that will be covered in this video. So instead, we're going to now be stuck on Android 7, not even be able to get the Android 8 over-the-air updates working. We're going to take this and see how we can still use it as an MP3 player today. So in this video, I'm going to be transforming our Android 7 device into a decent, not ultimate, MP3 player. Pretty much this is going to have and do what I want, but opens the floor to whatever you would want it. So let's check out what we need. Quick disclaimer, this video is for tutorial and educational purposes only. This will void your warranty, possibly break your device if you remove the wrong packages. Make backups before proceeding. Alright, with that out of the way, let's check out our hardware prep. We're going to need a laptop or desktop running Windows or Linux. I won't be showing commands for both, as the commands should be almost identical. Our phone, a USB cable for it, and a micro SD card, if your phone has a micro SD card slot. For software, we will be needing the platform tools for ADB. Scroll down, SDK platform tools for Windows. Scroll down. Accept the agreements and hit download. And whatever app you want to install to take over. Now anything to install needs to have support for Android 7 or Android 8 depending on which OS you have on this, and to be able to run offline. So any third-party software that won't push us for a need for an update, something like that. So Spotify is probably out of the question. For me, I want basic functionality, so any music player will work. Now there are plenty of different apps to choose from. We have Music OLED, Power Amp, Auto Music. Now, we just listed out these three. You can choose from a wide variety. There's plenty to find on Reddit or even just sifting through the Google Play Store. But that takes us to what we need to do next. So either download these apps beforehand straight from the Google Play Store if you can. Sometimes downloading apps straight from the Google Play Store aren't still supported on your device. So it's always best to maybe try it from the Google Play Store first, and then see if you need to sideload the APK. Or instance for Power Amp, I think we could just download it straight from their website. Go and hit the Power Amp APK. And same thing said for Auto Music, just try and download it from the Google Play Store and see what happens. So this will vary from user to user. And that's it for software, pretty straightforward. If you're sideloading the APKs, just download them all and leave them on a folder to move on to later. For our platform tools, just open up ADB, put it into a folder. You can even leave it in the same APK folder, as we're going to access it very shortly. Next up is device prep. So the reason we downloaded ADB is to clean out all of the bloatware installed apps that we have on our device. Now, since at the moment I wasn't able to flash another OS onto this, we must manually disable and remove all of this bloatware. Now before we can actually run any commands on our device, go into settings, scroll down to about phone, go to build number, tap that until we're developer. In developer options, scroll down until you see USB debugging. And that's it for our device. And now we're ready to actually plug in our phone and get on to setting up our ADB commands. Now before we get into removing the bloatware, we need to see what commands we're going to use for ADB and how they work. We have ADB shell pm list packages. It's going to list all the packages currently installed on the phone. If you do the same command, but at the end do -3, it's going to list out all of the user installed packages like Amazon, Sony Mobile, things like that. And then if you switch out -3 with -s, it's going to list out all the system packages. So a quick recap of all of our commands. We have ADB shell pm list packages for all the packages, -3 for user installed packages, and -s for system packages. And then we had the only command we're going to use for uninstall, ADB shell pm uninstall, and the package name. All right, now that we know what our commands do and what we're going to do, let's go ahead and remove the bloatware. Now we're going to start with removing the user installed applications and then going back to our phone and seeing how it is then. And then we'll see if we need to start removing some of the system packages. Just remove a couple things that we don't need. So when you first plug in the phone, it's going to ask if you want to charge the device or transfer files, or we want to click transfer files. So again, the last warning, if you actually want to remove any files that you have on the phone, probably be deleting something, maybe break it, just a fair warning. All right, now we can open up command prompt as an admin, cd into our platform tools folder, and let's run our ADB commands. So if you type in ADB devices, should spin up an ADB server. On our phone, it's probably going to prompt us to allow this device to connect with our ADB server. Hit always allow and hit yes. And that's it for what we need from our phone. Going back to our computer, now we can run some commands and manually remove all of our bloatware. Now technically you could go into the apps list on your phone and manually delete all the apps first and then list out all the packages. Either way is going to work. So let's just stick with the commands for now. So we're going to start out with removing all of the user packages. Type in ADB shell pm uninstall and then the package name. If you want to do it to a specific user on the phone, put --user0 and that'll be the main user. Now you can see here it says failure not installed for 0, and that's because we have package : into the package name. We actually need to remove that and just put com or IP or JP, whatever the package name is. So just move everything to the left of the colon, including the colon. So this is how it should actually look. We can verify it by it saying success after we remove it. Now just rinse and repeat with every other package you want to disable. And let's check it out. All right, so here we are. We just removed a lot of the system installed bloatware. The next thing for us to do is remove some of these built-in system apps, like dial, context, messaging. See if we can remove those, as well as a lot of these inbuilt apps that we may or may not need. We'll keep things like File Commander and the FM radio, but we'll probably remove things like What's Next or the D-Market apps. After going through all of these apps and packages that we don't need, I did leave the Google packages as we need those for some apps, like I said before. Now we can install those apps that we want. Now since we're on Android 7, the APKs should match up with the supported version if you didn't download straight from the Google Play Store. Sometimes the Google Play Store will allow you to download an older version if possible, but that's where some of these websites come in, hosting the older versions of the APKs. So after we went through all that, downloading all of our supported apps, we can either copy them onto an SD card and place it onto our phone, or just copy them directly and install them from there. The whole point of the micro SD card is for extra music storage, so whether you use it or not, it's perfectly fine. Alright, so when you're installing an app like Musicalet, it's going to ask to install apps from unknown sources, hit settings, scroll down, unknown sources, hit OK. Just be careful with this. Now Spotify didn't want to work, so I downloaded a custom version of YouTube Music instead, because Spotify kept prompting for an OS update or an app update. Alright, so we downloaded Musicalet. And here we are, just on the basic setup screen. Allows us to do everything, organize and play from our
phone, SD card, or USB storage. Cannot download, stream, or search music online using the internet. And does not send any data out of your phone. So pretty much what you would want if you want to use this phone strictly for offline media playback. To me, that's fine. Just give it media permissions. Stick on the black AMOLED version. We'll give it folders to scan if we had an SD card plugged in, which I will go and configure later on. And then hit OK. I have no settings to restore. And here we go. Now, it doesn't look that well on camera. That's because the camera I have is recording. This is actually darker gray and actually looks better in person. But here's it. I mean, I'm just using this for standard media playback. I'm just going to go download some songs and then we'll run them. I know this is a different media player than we used on our HTC phone, but to me, this is what I would want.
Alright, so we have our app installed that we wanted, or at least I had the MP3 player app that I wanted, and the phone set up in a spot for me. Now, final customization for me that I wanted, which technically don't need, is installing a new launcher. Just to change the customization of your phone.
I went ahead and I installed the Lawnchair Google style launcher, just to get more customization in this. See right here we have Lawnchair set as home. I'm going to hit just once so we can exit out of it if we want to. It does not change any of these other features here. It just changes your general homepage launcher. Now we can get into more customization.
And that's it. I mean, I only really wanted to use this for offline media playback anyway, with the possibility of online here and there. So this will suffice to me. Even though we are on Android 7, and I kind of wanted to run a newer version of Android to get some custom features. I will see if I can put this phone in a state to do that for me anyway, but this is where we're at. It would have been, again, nice to run Lineage OS and get some, battery features, have the phone charged to 80% instead of to 100 all the time to save on battery health. But at the end of the day, it's your own use case. And this brings us to the end. Thank you all so much for watching. Consider subscribing. If you have any issues or questions or comments or concerns, let me know down in the comment section below. Do my best to assist. Like if you like this or dislike it. I'll see you all in the next video.